Yo, you are watching NXT. Thank you for joining us as we embark on episode 11 of Universe Mode. The dust is settled on Takeover from San Antonio, Texas. A new era of NXT is on the way. We have new tag team champions and a new NXT champion. He's in action tonight. Hideo Itami challenges Austin Aries in non-title action. That is your main event tonight. And as I mentioned before, it's a new era, time for new stars to step forward. The debut of one of the UK's most exciting wrestlers is Will Osprey. And we are back, and we're wasting little time. We're about to kick things off with what promises to be a truly exciting tag team encounter. It's Team DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, as he challenged the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Yes, it's the Young Bucks. They were promised, they were promoted, and they delivered. A Takeover San Antonio, Texas, a phenomenal tag team contest between the Young Bucks and the Revival. The thrilling encounter was one of the most anticipated debuts in NXT history, one of the world's most polarizing acts in professional wrestling. Matt and Nick Jackson are in the WWE and have the tag team championships around their waists with just one match under their belt. We are on the way. Matt Jackson going straight to the eyes of Johnny Gargano. They've made a point in their careers of being either good guys or bad guys. Fans either love them or hate them, but you have to respect what they've accomplished on the independent wrestling scene over the last 10 years. The hustle and the empire they've created without the assistance of any major wrestling company. And they face Johnny Gargano and Ciampa in non-title action. Hardly pushovers themselves, equally veterans in their own right. And the Young Bucks teaming up on Gargano straight away. It's the super kick. That's your first taste of the super kick party here on NXT television. Ciampa is in now. The roughneck going to work on Nick Jackson, and there's a spinning clothesline. There's a lung blower. Knees to the spine, evacuating all the air in your body out of any orifice they're confined, hence the name. Victory roll applied by Nick Jackson. Shoulders down, but 3 counts to 2. Gargano counters, converts the weight on top of Jackson, and he counters again. Matt Jackson comes in with a total wild arm drag, back and forth with the pin combinations between Gargano and Jackson, and fires his face into the middle turnbuckle like a long dart. And Matt Jackson now with the super kick. And there's the signature cockiness on display from one half of the Young Bucks. Spinning neck breaker applied to Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa made a name for himself in Ring of Honor. He's one of the most aggressive, hardest hitting men on that roster. But he finds himself in trouble at the hands of the Young Bucks. Arguably one of the best tag teams in the world today. Tombstone applied by Matt Jackson, going for the cover. Ciampa makes the save for his partner, Johnny Gargano. Nick Jackson reading the situation, dropping Johnny Gargano with the super kick as he heads up to top rope territory. High spot incoming. Senton bomb is missed, and Gargano can flip the play, nails him on the chin with a super kick of his own. Nick Jackson goes airborne, flying plancha. Gargano has the advantage, sets him up and drops him in the middle of the ring with an authoritative power bomb. Gargano trapped in the corner like a cornered fox, and Matt with a springboard. There's the indie taker, crushing the skull of Gargano, and Nick Jackson wraps him up with another victory roll. Second time to charm, counts to 2, 3, and there it is. Young Bucks pick up a victory on NXT TV. What a contest! And respect is certainly overdue for Ciampa and Gargano. Fantastic performance, but your new NXT Tag Team Champions reinforcing why they are one of the best tag teams in the world. We are back, and we're about to witness the young legend play. It's Anthony Mafia rudely interrupting the commissioner Triple H at the NXT Takeover event. He was pedigree face down in the middle of the ring. Follow him on Facebook and Twitter using the tags in the top left corner. Show your support and spread the movement for one of the UK's hottest up and comers. So sending season resumes. And who else answers the challenge but the Dutch kickboxer Tommy End. Another new arrival here on NXT. Another addition from that British wrestling excursion. Yes, Tommy End is Dutch, but plied his trade, earned his crust and honed his craft in the UK for many of Britain's top promotions. Nice judo arm frag by Tommy End, stopping the chest of Anthony Mafia, helplessly lying prone. The young legend being overwhelmed here in the opening ongoings of the contest. Tommy End heading up to the top of the mountain, diving leg drop across the throat of Mafia. Had to across his larynx with that kind of velocity. Now Mafia firing back some shoot kicks of his own. And a lovely right-handed jab to the jaw of the Dutchman. Knife edge chops, Irish whip reverse. Mafia on the ring apron, dropped in the ring on his head. Places him on the top rope, looking to do some discernible damage. Mafia with a back elbow to the face, flying through the air with a spinning wheel kick. Shades of Japanese legend Shinjiro Itami. Mafia is not shy to profess his love of Japanese wrestling, dropping a leg of his own across the throat of Tommy End, going for the cover with a forearm across the face. The challenger kicks out. Fireman's carry throw. Looking to tear his head off with that clothesline. Tommy in the face and a boot up the arse for good measure. Mafia rolling through, both men going for a knee at the same time. It's like two bulls locking horns. Who's gonna move? Tommy End counters with a German. Touche. Sends him off up in the air and drops him with a right hand to the face. We are in Knockout City. Tommy End hooking the leg. Mafia about to experience his first defeat, but he kicks out almost instinctively really early on. Instinctive escape. Tommy End hoping to hurl him off the top of the mountain once again. And again, Mafia smart to it, evades with a push away with that boot and a second spinning wheel kick. From the top rope, Tommy End battling to his feet. Up on his shoulders in the fireman's carry, dropped across the knees. With the murder bag. Hooking the leg, going for the cover. Referee counts 1, 2, hits the 3, and there it is. Second victory for Anthony Mafia here on NXT. Sending season episode 2 concludes with a victory over Tommy End and his eyes on Triple H. Coming up next is the highly anticipated debut of the aerial assassin Will Osprey. Welcome back to NXT episode 11. Lindsay Dorado makes his first appearance on the show, competing in last year's Cruiserweight Classic, hosted on the WWE Network last summer. And of course people question, what if the tournament had the likes of Ricochet, the likes of Will Osprey, this man who's making his way to the ring, the aerial assassin, first ever foreign winner of the Best of the Super Juniors tournament in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's enjoyed a successful breakout year, something that us UK fans have known all along. This guy is the future of professional wrestling if he's not already the present. Here we go, we are on the way. Lindsay Dorado shoots him off from the headlock. Sleep, leapfrog from Dorado, and an arm drag beautifully executed from the Puerto Rican import. Osprey scouts that boot. Nice float over wheel kick from the Brit. There's a sleep of his own. Leap from Osprey, nails him with a flying double stomp. These two guys can't stop running. Osprey scouts the charge from Lindsay. Heads up top, springboard forearm, beautifully executed from the aerial assassin, and it's his time to shine. Hits the ropes. Double knees, goes for the cover, hooks the legs. Kick out one, Lindsay Dorado still alive. Signature pose from the aerial assassin. Standing corkscrew moonsault. Now there's a pullback. Dorado counters with a jawbreaker. The Puerto Rican is back on top. What a heck of a Dorado moonsault. Over halfway across the ring. Osprey sending Lindsay Dorado to the outside. He smells blood in the water. Flies through the air with a twisting moonsault. Osprey is on fire in the NXT universe. Starstruck. Nice hurricanrana off the top rope. Goes for the cover, hooking both legs once again. Referee counts to 2. Dorado escapes. but he's slowing down. Ospreay is speeding up, gathering momentum. Forearm to the face. Lindsay Dorado comes back for more. Ospreay scats the line with a Pele kick. Flip bottom in the middle of the ring. Dorado switches. Ospreay with the arse cutter. And you know we're getting a springboard version in the next game. This has got to be it, referee. 1, 2, and the 3. Resounding debut for the aerial assassin. Impressive victory. NXT is the brand that keeps getting better and better every week. The best superstars week to week for you, the viewers. And speaking of the best superstars, Ember Moon will make her first appearance on NXT. She is in action next. And we are back. Mandy Rose, tough enough competitor, has been booked, summoned, and is in the ring. She is the opponent for this lady. Formerly known as Athena, Ember Moon has arrived here on NXT. Tons of potential. She's mysterious and unpredictable. A potential candidate, maybe even a dark horse to one day dethrone the undefeated women's champion Asuka, who had a fantastic match at Takeover against Gail Kim. Remember the past, love the future. Mandy Rose attempting to crush the skull of Ember Moon with that double axe handle, but Ember Moon was smart to it, scouts it. Fantastic arm drag. She sends Mandy Rose out into no woman's land. Fantastic sunset flip power bomb from Moon, but Mandy Rose escapes. Now Ember Rose goes to the top rope, squashes her with the senton. Springboard crossbody, lovely stuff. And a wheelbarrow bulldog for good measure. Mandy Rose tossed back into the middle. Another springboard crossbody. Emphatic athleticism from Ember Moon. Scouting Mandy Rose from the top rope. And she calls that the Eclipse. Aptly named because that is it. Lights out from Mandy Rose. Thank you for coming. 1, 2, and the 3. Ember Moon with a career-pleasing victory here on NXT. Finishes Mandy Rose in quick fashion. We're 4 weeks away from Takeover, Orlando, Florida, and she may well have a fair shout in challenging the women's champion Asuka on that night. Total eclipse from Mandy Rose. Coming up next, main event time. Your new NXT champion Hideo Itami faces Austin Aries. We are back for your final segment of today's episode. Main event time. Austin Aries coming up short against Zack Sabre Jr. for the Cruiserweight Championship at Takeover San Antonio, Texas. He'll step out of the darkness as he's about to challenge Hideo Itami. Austin Aries had an affinity for midget wrestlers. In his own words, he would use to describe British foes such as Jack Gallagher and Zack Sabre Jr. The irony, of course, falls on the fact that Austin Aries is one of the shortest men on the roster. Completely obliterated by Zack Sabre Jr., tapped out within a matter of minutes from a cross-arm breaker from the Cruiserweight champion, which we learned just moments before Owen and Regal has granted debutant Will Osprey a championship match for the Cruiserweight Championship next week on NXT. But for now, who is your NXT champion? And the brand spanking new one at that, Hideo Itami, blowing Samoa Joe away in the main event as Itami wore that iconic emerald green and silver costume in a tribute to the late Mitsuharu Misawa, one of Itami's former mentors and employers in Pro Wrestling Noah. Spinning back kick puts Austin Aries on the ropes. Itami shoots him off. He's asleep. Knocks him down with a clothesline. Sends him off again. And this time Austin Aries starts him with an arrogant slap to the back of the head of Hideo and drops him with a sidewalk slam. Aries expresses frustration at being a late addition to the game on the Future Stars DLC pack. Vowed to make up for lost time as he challenged Sabre Jr. for the Cruiserweight Championship and came up short. All that can change tonight with a victory over Hideo Itami. The dynamic of the NXT Championship rankings could change on a dime. Aries positioning Itami on the top rope. Itami boots him away. Flying clothesline, but Aries scouts it. Itami lands on his face. And he follows up with a high-angle back suplex. Certainly not an ideal move to take on that injured shoulder of Hideo Itami. Now Aries sets him up, bouncing on the spot. He feels it. What a lariat from the self-professed greatest man that ever lived. And now we in finishing maneuver territory. Aries smells it. Going to crush the eardrums of Itami. Spinning back kick plants him in the corner. Tornado DDT across the top rope. Aries is stunned. Hideo going up to the top. Hideo Itami is armed with some of the stiffest offense in the game, let alone coming off the top rope. Clothesline well scouted again by Aries. What a forearm dropping Itami to the mat. Has Aries knocked him unconscious? No, he kicks out. We'll take a little bit more than that to put away the pit bull. Itami as he unleashes a fury. Kenta series now followed by roundhouse kicks in the corner. Here we go. What a face wash. Nice TKO by Aries. Drops him across that injured neck of Itami. Still not 100% from that dodgy power slam a few months ago in NXT. Hideo has breathing space. The NXT champion flies through the air with a tope suicida through the middle rope. Pinpoint kicks to the cranium of Aries. Hits the ropes and connects with the kitchen sink. Knee to the gut. Itami commanding anticipation from the audience. Aries up on the shoulders. Lands face first across the knee of Hideo with a good to sleep, and Roderick Strong cuts him off. Referee throws the match out. He's left with no other choice. Aries is bewildered, but he couldn't care less. He was about to be pinned by Hideo Itami with that go to sleep. Aries was done for, and he summons a steel chair from Roderick Strong, his right hand man. Aries aggressively dismissing the referee. I can't imagine he'd ever hit the ref with a chair, considering the consequences. But he opts for Itami's ribcage instead. Unsolicited chair shots to a defenseless Hideo Itami. Roderick Strong wants a piece. Cowardly 2-on-1 attack on the defensive Hideo Itami. Probably not how Hideo anticipated his first night as NXT champion would go, but I imagine there's going to be hell to pay next week. Thank you for watching, and as always, thank you for the kind comments and the support on my videos. Always means so much. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought of tonight's episode, what you thought of Will Osprey's debut, who do you want to see face NXT champion Hideo Itami next. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Follow Anthony Mafia on Facebook and Twitter too, and I'll see ya in a bit.